you now or have you ever felt left out after your pet passed away? Maybe you see other people walking their dogs. Maybe friends are talking about their cats. Maybe someone shares a happy pet photo online. And instead of just feeling happy for them like you used to, you feel a pang, a hurt, a loneliness, maybe even a sense that everyone else still belongs to a world you may no longer feel a part of. And then you may feel guilty, adding another layer for feeling that way. If this has happened to you, please know you're not a bad person. You are grieving, and you are definitely not alone in these feelings. Hi there, my name is Joanne Berg. I am an experienced therapist with over 20 years in practice, and I'm also a certified grief educator. Most importantly, I've also lost a pet. I get it. On this channel, we talk about pet loss grief openly and without judgment. This is a safe space where your grief is understood. Continue watching, as I have many ways in which I may be able to help you. Yes, there is light at the end of this tunnel. So in keeping with this topic, I'm going to talk about 1, why you may feel left out after your pet died. 2, what may really be underneath that feeling. 3, client experiences and how I helped. 4, why people may seem to leave you out. And 5, what may help. Again, there is light at the end of these whirlwind of emotions. So why may you feel left out after your pet died? Well, when your pet dies, it can feel as though you have lost your place in a world where you used to belong to. You may notice other people still have their pets. They still have their routines. They hang out in the park with their dog and with others who have dogs. They still have someone waiting for them at home. They still get to talk about the ordinary, loving parts of life with their animal. And you do not at this time. That can really hurt. You may feel left behind, disconnected, different from everyone else, lonely in a way that is hard to explain. You may also feel cut off from communities you once felt a part of. Maybe you used to talk to other dog walkers. Maybe your pet was part of how you connected with your neighbors. Maybe your pet gave you a natural sense of belonging. Now, the same places or conversations can feel painful. Maybe it touches off hurtful times that you felt left out earlier in your life. So what may really be underneath that feeling? Sometimes feeling left out is not only about other people, it's also about what their lives remind you of. They may remind you of what you used to have, what has changed, what is missing now. Sometimes the feeling underneath is loneliness, sadness, envy, longing, anger, feeling forgotten and feeling different. And sometimes it is also this thought: they still get to have that life and I don't. That can be very hard to admit, but it is a very human grief reaction. It does not mean you wish anything bad on anyone else. It means your loss hurts. Now, these are some examples from clients who wanted to share. Now, of course, your experiences may be different, and that's okay. All grief is individual, and what can help you is also individual. But let's see if there are parts that you can take from these experiences. One client told me, I stopped going to the park because everyone else was there with their dogs. She reached out because what used to feel comforting, i.e., going to the park, had started to feel very unbearable. She felt left out, angry, and then ashamed for feeling that way. So many layers. What helped was kind of simplifying things. So, first, putting things into words to what she was actually feeling. So, it wasn't only grief, but it was exclusion, loneliness, and the pain of seeing others that still had what she had lost. She was surprised that this brought up times in high school where she was not part of the cool kids. Then we practiced very simple ways she could respond if someone asked how she was doing. For example, I'm still having a hard time since my pet died. It is hard to talk about it. Some places are still tender for me right now. Can we talk at another time? That helped her feel less overwhelmed and more prepared. She also began to understand that feeling left out did not mean there was something wrong with her. It meant she was grieving. Another person told me, I can't even look at people posting those happy pet pictures online right now. He reached out because he felt guilty. He thought he should be happy for other people, but instead he felt hurt and excluded. What really helped him was recognizing that social media had become an emotional trigger. Underneath that trigger was a deeper pain. Everyone else still has what I lost. We worked on helping him notice that feeling without attacking himself for it. No more shoulds. He did not need to force himself to be okay right away. He needed compassion and permission to step back when something felt too painful. Another client said, I used to talk to my neighbors because of our dogs. Now I don't know where I fit. She reached out because she felt more isolated and was overwhelmed with how this loss had changed her social world so much. What helped was recognizing that she was grieving more than her pet alone. She was grieving connection, identity, routine, and a sense of community. We also practiced a few simple ways she could stay connected without forcing herself. For example, I may not stay long, but I wanted to come by and say hi. I'm still grieving, so some days are harder than others. That helped her feel less pressure to pretend. What also helped was exploring other groups to join. She joined a low-key hiking group, and that was a start. Baby steps. Another person shared, people stopped inviting me to things where pets would be there. I don't know if they were trying to protect me or if they just didn't know what to do with me anymore. She reached out because she felt doubly hurt. She was grieving her pet, and she also felt left out by other people. She was quite overwhelmed and just felt she needed someone who was neutral and non-judgmental to talk to. What helped was separating those two pains. One was the pain of the loss itself, which is quite difficult and messy and hard. The other was the pain of feeling excluded and misunderstood. Once she could name both, she was better able to see that other people's discomfort was not proof that she mattered less. It still hurt, but it helped her stop blaming herself. It also helped her step back and understand that the intention of others was not to hurt her purposely, that people really do not know how to deal with others in grief, and felt lost themselves in how to help. Let's look at this in more detail. Sometimes after pet loss, people do seem to pull back. You may not be imagining it, and that can feel deeply painful. You may notice fewer invitations, people not mentioning your pet, awkward silences, people changing the subject, friends acting unsure around you. That can lead to a very understandable thought. Are people leaving me out? Do they think that I am weak? Sometimes it may feel that way, but often it is not because people do not care. It may be because, again, they do not know what to say. They are uncomfortable with grief. They are afraid of upsetting you. They wrongly assume you want to be alone. They do not understand how significant this loss was for you. That does not make it hurt less, but it can help explain that being left out is not always a sign that you matter less. Sometimes it reflects other people's discomfort. And sadly, grief can make those gaps much more visible. So what can help? If this feeling comes up for you, a few gentle things may help. Now remember that these are general suggestions. Grief counseling can help you see the many, many different ways that can help you with your own individual experience. Your experience deserves to be witnessed without judgment. I meet you exactly where you're at and where you're comfortable. It may only take a couple of sessions. So 1, name the feeling if you can. So instead of criticizing yourself, it may be an idea to reframe things and say to yourself, I feel left out. This is bringing up my grief. This reminds me of what I lost. Sometimes naming the feeling reduces your shame. Look underneath it. Ask yourself gently, am I feeling lonely? Am I missing the routine? Am I missing the companionship? Am I feeling different from everyone else? Sometimes left out is the top layer of a deeper grief. Protect yourself when needed. It is okay to step back from pet-centered social media, certain conversations, certain places, and certain events, but not forever. Maybe just when you feel very, very tender. And this is just while your grief may be new or something has activated it. This is not weakness. It may simply be self-protection. It's natural. Talk to one trusted person. You do not need a whole group of people. Sometimes one safe person is enough. Sometimes it may help to talk to a trusted friend who has a pet, but also understands the bond that people have with animals. Not because they will understand everything perfectly. No, unfortunately, that may not happen, but because they may understand the place that your pet held in your everyday life. But only if that feels safe for you. Also, remind yourself that grief is not a character flaw. You might say to yourself, this does not make me bitter. This does not make me sound like a selfish person. It means I am grieving. That kind of self-talk matters. And reach out for support. If this feeling is becoming isolating or overwhelming, which is also a part of grief, support can help. Sometimes talking with someone who understands and who is trained in the area of grief may help. You do not have to carry this all by yourself. Please remember that the whirlwind of grief after loss can cloud the obvious, and that is why brief counseling may help. Pet loss can make the world feel different. Sometimes it is not only the absence of your pet that hurts. Sometimes it is seeing that life seems to be going on for everyone else while you are still trying to find your footing. If that is where you are, please be gentle with yourself. You are not failing. You are grieving. So have you ever felt left out after your pet died? I would welcome the opportunity to hear your experience. Let's talk. I can help you sort this out. You can reach me directly through my website, petlossandbereavement.com, or my email, joannebergen1@gmail.com. I am so pleased that you are watching this video. Please subscribe and comment below. Take care and see you next time.